I'm Bill Calkins with Ball Tech On Demand, and today my guest is Cindy Drumgool, the Business and Product Manager for Ball Mums. Cindy took the reins of Ball Mums after more than 2 decades as head grower and general manager of 5-acre farm growers in Massachusetts, where she grew hundreds of thousands of garden mums and other fall crops for garden centers across New England. At 5-acre Farm, she also managed the Garden Mum Root and Cell division, producing liners for Syngenta and Getty Flora. And our topic today is fast crop strategies for garden mums. And I'm excited to welcome Cindy because it's definitely garden mum growing season at greenhouses across North America. And if this spring is any indicator, garden centers of all shapes and sizes are going to be hopping this fall when mums hit the benches. So why are we here today talking about garden mum fast crops?
Hey, Bill. There's been a lot of uncertainty about ordering mums for the fall. Because earlier, when the COVID-19 situation first happened, people weren't sure how sales were going to be, and so they were a little bit hesitant about doing their orders, or they cut back on their orders, or didn't order at all. So now, with all this record-breaking spring sales, we find that you may have customers that are interested in putting a mum order together, increasing their order, or maybe even adding a program when they haven't done one in a few years. So in order to take advantage of these strong sales, we want to give you this option of doing a fast crop fall mum. You're going to be planting it a little bit later than you normally would, but it'll still get you plants flowering and in the garden centers in later September.
And that makes sense. So I do think that growers are going to be scrambling to increase mum numbers. I mean, especially watching the sales at retail that we're all seeing right now. Spring is definitely not canceled, and some might feel like they're running out of time, but they're really not, because as you're going to explain, there are plenty of options to fast crop these mum programs to produce very high quality, very retail ready plants to go out to the garden centers and farm markets. So what are the main considerations for growers exploring these options?
I first want to note before I get into it a little bit that there are growers that normally do these fast crop programs down in the South. So it isn't something that's new. It is something that has been being done for a number of years. So, it's definitely possible to produce that quality mum crop, even though we are starting later than the natural season program. So the plants are going to flower about 7 to 10 days later than the natural season crop. And for this reason, I suggest that we use mid-season varieties. So they're not going to flower too late, but they will size up better than the early flowering varieties. The early flowering varieties can often even be a little bit of trouble for some growers to size up when you plant them at the regular planting time for natural season. So that's why I suggest we just stick with the mid-season, so we'll have a better chance to get them up to size.
And that makes a lot of sense, and I think it gives a good overview. You're going to talk about some of your specific varieties and your favorite mid-season selections here in a little bit. So let's start getting a little bit specific and talking about the true keys to creating this successful fall crop.
Okay, so the key to a FastCrop program is to not inhibit the growth by stressing the plant in any way. And we really can't stress, those points enough. So do not pinch, or you're going to set the crop back and your flowering is going to be further delayed. We don't want you to allow the plants to wilt, or you're going to inhibit the plant growth. So potentially that's going to limit your plant size. It's going to potentially cause root issues or delay flowering. And finally, do not use low fertility. Mums are heavy feeders. If there's anything that we keep stressing with mums is how important the nutrition is. So it's really important that you keep them well fed. And if it comes later in the crop and you need to slow them down a little, you could use a PGR. You can do something to adjust. But if you have the crop too small when you're getting ready to flower, then that's it's really hard to recover from that. It's much easier to have it big and slow it down.
Excellent. And I'm sure a lot of this comes from your experience as a grower. And I'm sure growers can relate to having some of these issues in the past. But really, as Cindy said, these are the keys to really making sure that if you get this crop in a little bit late, that you're still bringing it to market on time. So you talked a little bit about the production planning. So can you give an overview to the viewers about an effective crop scheduling program for fast crop mums, and kind of what does that planting schedule look like?
Okay, so our planting schedule, and again, I want to emphasize that we do have cuttings available now, so this is still really doable. For a 4-inch pot, we would suggest that you direct stick the cutting, one cutting into the pot, and you can do that anywhere between week 28 to week 30. Now for the 6 and 8-inch pots, the schedule is going to be a bit similar, where you can stick the unrooted week 26 or 27 and then plant into the final pot week 29 or week 30. The main difference being for a 6-inch pot, you're going to use one cutting per pot, and for the 8-inch, we're going to suggest you use 2 cuttings per pot to make sure that you get them sized up in time.
Okay, that gives a good recipe for growers, depending on the pot size that you're using, when to make sure you get those stuck, and definitely remember to put 2 cuttings into those 8-inch pots if you want to get the size that your retailers are looking for. So let's wrap up by helping growers select the best varieties, because as you said, mid-season selections are the way to go. So let's take a look at some of the best options available from Ball Mums, in your opinion.
Okay, so I put together this chart of the mid-season varieties that have medium to medium tall vigor. And you can see with these that the natural season flowering date for most of them starts around September 22nd to the end of the month. But remember, our flowering date is when the plants are about 50% open. So you're going to have in cracking color 7 to 10 days prior to these dates. So just bear that in mind. And another thing to note would be that not all of the varieties are recommended for the smaller 4-inch pots. So just be sure that you're checking your varieties to make sure that they're applicable for the pot size that you're trying to schedule. And we definitely do cover all the strong fall colors, so you can have a good representation and have all the different colors that you need for your fall mum program.
Excellent, that's great. It does really cover the whole color spectrum. Are these available in the Ball Mums catalog as well? I mean, are these charts that you can find in the Ball Mums catalog?
This particular chart isn't is a little more detailed than what is in there in terms of being just for the fast crop fall mums, but we do have an A to Z quick reference guide, which has all of the varieties and all the pot sizes that they can grow in, their vigor and their date. So all of that information is there. You just need to pull it out, and I've just kind of condensed it for you here.
Excellent, excellent. This is a great resource, and we'll make sure that this is available through all of our different communication channels from Ball Seed. This has been fantastic. I really appreciate you taking the time to go through this. I think that this is extremely timely and relevant for growers. You've given a lot of great practical tips. The plan is right there for any of the viewers out there who feel like you need to bump up production to meet the demand this year. Do you have any final words, I guess, but before we close and let growers get to their desks and work on those mum orders?
Yeah, if they've gotten back in from shipping, right?
That is true.
So I am available to answer your questions, and we also have great ball seed reps and the ball color link, excuse me, sales reps are available, ball customer relations. All these people can help you answer any questions that you may have. We have great information and downloadable um, tools and tips and documents on ballseed.com garden mums, and you can also contact me directly by email at cdrumgool@ballhort.com. There's a lot of us here who are ready and able to help you, so if you have any questions, just give us a call and get those mums planted.
Excellent. It's really amazing the number of resources that you guys have created over the last few years, and everything from crop scheduling tools to picking the best varieties by color. I think that ballseed.com/gardenmoms site is fantastic. We'll give a quick plug. The Ball Tech On Demand team moderates the Greenhouse Tech Team closed Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, all you have to do is search Greenhouse Tech Team. We'll welcome you in, and you can post all sorts of comments and questions if you have specific crop issues you're dealing with. I know that Cindy and other members of the Ball Tech Technical Services Group are constantly monitoring that site and answering questions a lot of times within an hour. So it's a really excellent resource. So I'm Bill Calkins, and on behalf of Ball Technical Services team and the Ball Tech On Demand group, here's a fantastic Garden Mom season coming up. We're excited to see all of the retail excitement out in the marketplace this spring, and know that it's going to continue through the fall. So thanks very much for watching the video, and we'll be back soon with more information and knowledgeable guests like Cindy to help you produce your best crops ever.